Hi, welcome to this week's episode of Cedar City Real Estate 411. I'm Derek Morton with Mountain View Title and Escrow. We're going to do something a little different this week, and we're actually going to do an interview with Maria Twitchell, the director of Cedar City Bryan Head Tourism. If you haven't met her, come by and visit her. She's in the visitor center. How you doing, Maria?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing well.
It's a good day to be in Cedar City.
That it is. The weather's finally
The
nice.
weather's good, and the trees are coming out. And
Finally.
I think we're definitely ready for spring and definitely ready for summer.
Well, it is along the lines of getting ready for summer. I know there's a couple new events coming into Cedar City. What are some of those events?
New events. We have the Fire Road 100, which is coming in July. This is going to be a really fun event, especially for those that love to mountain bike. It's a mountain bike race that goes from Cedar City up Cedar Mountain and then comes back down into Cedar City. But they have 3 legs. So there's a hard, which is 100 kilometers, and then they have one that's, I believe, 50 and 30. So families could race in it if they wanted to, or the hardcore people could definitely come and race and have a really great time.
Well, that's good. I know that's the first year that's coming to Cedar City. About how many people do they expect to participate?
They're hoping, and I think they'll get it, 1,500 bikers. But what's great about it is for each biker, you're going to have support. So that could be anywhere from 2 to 3 people. That could be a family member or just their support staff. It could be a lot of people. So that means, along with that 1,500, it kind of multiplies into quite a few people in town.
That's a large amount of people for a short time period here in Cedar.
Yeah, and it's the same day as the July Jamboree. So they'll be able to race in the morning, and they'll be able to hang out in Cedar City and go to the July Jamboree.
That'll be nice. I'll definitely have to get a booth for my business then,
No
now knowing
kidding.
that.
No kidding. And then another event that's just being added on to an existing event is the Group Fest quarter marathon. No one's ever heard of a quarter marathon.
That sounds like almost my level until I realize how long a marathon actually is.
So it's kind of funny and it's quirky and it's just like Group Fest. So they have added that onto their event, and so that'll be a fun little part of the event. And then of course the music and the whole getting together in the park, which makes Group Fest one of the best events around.
Oh, definitely. I'm glad they were able to bring that back this year.
Yeah. I think last year when it came back, everybody was so very excited and they came out and supported it. And I think this year will be just as big.
It was one of the events when I first moved down to Cedar City that was so quirky. I just loved it.
Yeah, and you gotta love that, what people are doing, and events are very hard to do. I mean, that requires a lot of volunteer time and a lot of effort. And I applaud anyone that puts on an event. That's one of the great things about Cedar City.
Most definitely. Well, and I know you've another thing that started within the last year that you've helped start and be involved in is the Downtown Retail Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
If you can kind of talk about what the goal of that is, and then how that affects what you do.
Well, when you think about a downtown, or if you even think about a community, the downtown part is really what makes it. And so if your downtown looks superb, it kind of sets the standard. And I think that we've had some really great efforts in our downtown several years ago when they brought in Hyatt Palma, who made some recommendations, and the city and the businesses acted on those recommendations. And so we got the beautiful clock and the Heritage Theater and the paved sidewalks and the baskets, the flower baskets and stuff like that. Well, we needed to revisit that and bring that back. When things are tough, things kind of tend to go to the wayside. So the Downtown Alliance is basically a group of business people and government people who just want to make sure that whole vision of the downtown continues. They brought back the Hyatt Palma people again, who made some recommendations. And the exciting thing is, from these recommendations, some incentives are going to come out through the city that will help those businesses. It will help us generate some new businesses in the downtown that can be supported. We'll have hopefully a new streetscape that will tie into the university there on Center Street and all the things that they're doing over there. And I think we're just going to see a very, very revamped and revitalized area, and it it starts with the group, like the Downtown Alliance.
Well, exactly. I know, I moved down from Ogden, and right at the time I was going to school, my background was urban and regional planning, and so when they tore down the mall and started redoing all that, it was cool to be part of all that and to see it. And going back now and looking the difference night and day, and you look at downtown Salt Lake, and I know we're not doing anything on that large a scale, but on a smaller scale for what it can do for the community, it's made things vibrant and really changed people's perception of those towns.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those are very good examples of what can happen, and I think Cedar City's there, and it just needs to get to that next step. So it requires the public, it requires the Downtown Alliance, it requires the city and the county and everybody to get together and say, hey, we want this, because this is what is setting the standard for our community. This is what people will remember. And we want to make sure that they're remembering the best of Cedar City.
Oh, exactly. So, and then one final question before we let you go. I made it almost the whole way without getting tongue-tied.
You have editing?
Yes. But unfortunately, this is all live. We're good.
That's all right.
For those of us in the real estate industry, you work hard to help promote and bring people in.
Mm-hmm.
What can those of us in the real estate industry do to help promote tourism in Cedar City and Bryan Head?
Well, just by being that welcome force as people come into the community, being just friendly and helpful, and realize that visitors turn into home buyers because they come and visit our community and want to move here. So if they have a great experience, a lot of times they're going to come back and they're going to want to live here in their retirement age, or they just love it so much they want their children to grow up here. So a visitor means a lot to the real estate and in our area. I think if you were to ask people who move here why they moved here, I bet they'd tell you, because I visited here and I loved it so much I had to come back.
I'd agree. We've currently picked up some investor clients that moved from Southern California that had visited it over the years and decided this is where they wanted to be. So.
Mm-hmm. So, and it starts with that person that they first encounter, and a lot of times it's, I think it's just being available. If a visitor all of a sudden decides that, hey man, I really like this, they want to be able to contact a real estate agent, they want to be able to get a hold of somebody, to answer their questions in regards to what the community is about. So sometimes it means being available on Sundays or Saturdays or at night, and so I think the advantage is those that answer that phone call or who can immediately go and meet those people are really will benefit from the visitors that come to Iron County.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Maria. I appreciate you taking the time, and we look forward to hopefully having this one go viral.
All right.
You'll enjoy it.
Thanks.